When you hear the name Coca-Cola, what comes to mind? The wonderfully soft, exquisitely tasting caramel-colored carbonated drink that soothes your palate? Or the extraordinarily unhealthy contents of the drink itself that can get rid of rust? Or maybe it's even the highly and slightly dark but fascinating history behind the company and its creator. Many of these stories have been told before, and it is expected that people will have heard the basics.
The goal of this film is not to restate what the people already know. It is to inform the public on the immense success and worldwide influence of one company, the Coca-Cola Company. The topics previously mentioned, along with the brand's enormous influence on advertisement across the globe, will be discussed in depth to reveal why one wants to buy the world of Coke. The famous drink all started with a man named John Smith Pemberton. He served for the Georgia State Guard during the American Civil War and became lieutenant colonel. During his service, he received a terrible wound that the doctors thought would be fatal. His doctors decided to give him a large amount of morphine to ease his last moments. Pemberton unexpectedly ended up living, but since he was given so much morphine, he became addicted to it. After the war, he set up a pharmacy in Georgia so that he could get regular doses of morphine for himself.
As his addiction continued to get worse, he decided he would develop a cure. He then invented the first model of the Coca-Cola drink called Pemberton's French Wine Coca Nerve Tonic, which was a mix of wine, cocaine, and soda water. The first instance of trouble hit when Prohibition ran rampant throughout Georgia in 1886. The solution was, of course, to take out the wine from the recipe, and during the year of 1886, 9 drinks were sold a day. By 1888, however, the recipe had only about 1/10 the recreational dose of cocaine, and it was not until 1903 that the Coca-Cola beverage became the cocaine-free altogether. In 1888, Pemberton's morphine addiction finally killed him, and his company fell into the hands of a man named Asa Griggs Candler, who would spread Coca-Cola across the globe. Even without the cocaine and wine, the drink is still commonly known to be incredibly bad for one's health. The secret formula to this day has not been released to the public, so conclusions upon the health of the drink can only be based on the common ingredients known. Even through such an evaluation without the full picture, the ingredients that are available do not look highly pleasing to consume. The ingredients as known are carbonated water, sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, and natural flavors, which is where the secret recipe comes in. The caramel color and phosphoric acid do not sound like they are quite healthy, and everybody knows that how bad sugar is when consumed in large quantities. In 1 can of Coca-Cola, there are 39 grams of sugar. Whether the consumer is male or female, in both cases, the person has exceeded his or her daily intake of sugar at 25 and 36 grams respectively. So for Coca-Cola is not looking too great for one's health. The sugar, of course, increases one's blood pressure and insulin levels. This can lead to serious health problems for one's heart. Since there is so much sugar, a chemical called dopamine is released in the pleasure centers of the brain. This is essentially the same process that occurs when injecting oneself with heroin. Just like any drug, when the sugar high diminishes, the body is left craving more. What is even worse is the fact that with each subsequent consumption of a can, the body adapts to the negative effects and craves a higher dose, just like any other addiction. When a first-time Coca-Cola drinker consumes 1 can, the amount of sugar in it would normally make the person sick and vomit. The phosphoric acid, however, dulls the sweetness of the beverage so the person can drink it. This is not the only role of the phosphoric acid. It is also responsible for binding with essential micronutrients in the body like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. This will cause a boost in the consumer's metabolism for a short period of time, and eventually these bound micronutrients will leave the body through urine. One serious health issue that can occur because of this depletion is osteoporosis. When the natural calcium levels diminish, the body needs to find a replacement for this calcium. This replacement is the calcium found in one's bones, which are essential to the healthy density of the bones. The bones then become more weak and fragile due to low calcium levels, which can lead directly to osteoporosis. What is so dangerous about this condition is that it cannot be diagnosed until the first bone fracture occurs, and the condition itself is incurable.
So how is Coca-Cola able to maintain its soft drink empire despite the public knowledge of its harmful facts and its contents? The answer is written in the polar bears and fat, jolly Santa Clauses. Coca-Cola changed the way advertising works. Placement of signs in sports venues and sponsorships with athletes allowed the company to reach new audiences. Catchy slogans like "I'd like to buy the world of Coke" and celebrity endorsements inspired a revolution for other companies to follow. Selena Gomez, who held the reign of the most Instagram followers for years at 151.8 million, posted an ad for Coca-Cola. With this many followers, Coca-Cola was able to reach a broader audience and advertise its products. This paid promotion made other companies green with envy, with the power and number of likes it yielded in the advertising and social media world. Coca-Cola is a universally known brand and is able to use these celebrities to grow engagement with their brand. Celebrities aren't the only stage for Coca-Cola to endorse its sugary drinks. Look at the Super Bowl. For example, in 2019 alone, 98.2 million people turned in to watch both the game and the ads. With a multitude of wealth, Coca-Cola is able to create fun and entertaining ads. The NCAA, Olympic Games, and NBA are all sponsored by Coca-Cola, widening their power over the advertising industry. With such a large outreach, Coca-Cola is able to reach new generations of fans and future consumers. The well-known Fat and Jolly Santa Claus was even a production by Coca-Cola. In 1931, advertisement agents for Coke decided that they needed a new spokesperson for the holidays, and here entered a family friend who is dressed and posed as this Santa. To this day, Coca-Cola uses this brand of Santa Claus that is now known everywhere across the globe. How do these advertising ploys relate to the darker health facts? Industries like Coca-Cola are able to manipulate consumers with emotions to sell drinks despite the hazardous health facts. Emotional appeal has been used for thousands of years in writing and is now used in advertising. Studies have proven that emotional response instigates decisions rather than receiving information. Recently, the company announced its new slogan, Taste the Feeling, which would show the drink as a simple pleasure that is related to happy times. Coca-Cola advertisements are known for feel-good and funny scenes of families and friends. The health risks are overlooked with a cute puppy or a party that comes on TV with the Coca-Cola banner preceding it.
In conclusion, Coca-Cola has evolved over the years into an advertising superpower, which is able to cover health facts with feel-good advertisements. Their outreach into different venues and marketing strategies has resulted in a change in how other companies advertise. It is true Coca-Cola has changed the industry, but at what cost? Terrible nutritional facts and an overload of sugar has replaced the cocaine, but the dangers to drinkers are still present in such a beloved drink across the world.